Women who have ever utilized the service of a male prostitute, what was the experience like? I was at a very low point in my life while I was living in Mexico. Mexico has an abundance of sex work and prostitution. I paid a male prostitute just to cuddle and have him listen to my feelings. It was a good experience. I have abs and am a great listener. Man, working at a warehouse. I gladly get paid to cuddle. You might be happy to hear it's an actual job and you could get paid for it. Google professional cuddler. ISTG, if it's really that easy to become a professional cuddlier. ETA, are you effing kidding me? Mother of my current job. Web link. Update in few months PLS. I really will. I'll make a blog. My story, from loser to cuddler. From warehouse to your house. Looks like I got myself a publicist for the novel, too. I'd love to. I've started on the preface. He worked in a warehouse, devoid of positive human contact. All he wanted was to cuddle. He was tall, friendly, and from what I hear, has a pretty good set of abs. Recently he learned that there was a market for cuddling a stranger. Cuddling a stranger? He thought. That can solve 2 problems. So, grab a cup of coffee, cuddle up on the couch with those oversized pillows with the odd smell that you bought on Amazon. Here is the journey of user TylerBo713. Reddit link. I'm not tall, but that right there is exactly why you're my publicist. I'll buy some Tims. And if you pay for the deluxe package, he'll come cuddle with you while you read. You are good. This thread right here is exactly why the F I'm on Reddit Lamau. Darn it, I already gave my award. From Duddler to Cuddler. From warehouse to whorehouse, the story of a young man's liberation. Years ago, I was approached by a friend to be a partner in a business venture of her idea to make a string of cuddle businesses like massage parlors but only for cuddling. I wasn't interested in the least. But I listened to her pitch. She couldn't have her name associated with the business. So she wanted to be a silent partner. It was because she was prosecuted for and ultimately found not guilty of prostitution herself. She was not a prostitute. But an undercover vice sting went sideways and got her involved to the point where she had to defend herself in front of a judge. She won. The cops lost. Her idea was there's a lot of money that could be made in cuddling services. I asked her how was she going to guarantee it doesn't cross the line into prostitution, and become the next massage parlors that have to be concerned about that reputation killer? She didn't have an answer and I didn't see her much after that, as expected. But it was interesting while she pursued me for the partnership. Just to cuddle and have him listen to my feelings. Yo no hablo Inglés. Wow, that's really cool. Did it matter what he looked like? What kind of guy did you go for? Usually when you visit hotels there's always a group of prostitutes waiting outside in the entrance. In many Latin American countries, male prostitutes are usually gay men. I just picked the one with the largest muscular build, it made me feel safer. In all countries male prostitutes are usually gay men. Guy is at least 90% of their business. Laughing out loud, 100. Haha yep, whenever these threads come up it's like, male prostitutes of Reddit. Oh yep? Tell us about a time. Oh yep? A woman. Oh nah. How were you confident that you'd be safe? I was just out of a marriage that had turned sexless for the final years and my sex drive came back with a vengeance. I had a terrible Tinder date that made me feel super unsafe, so I booked a sex worker. He was delightful and lovely and I felt safe and in control. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. I saw him twice then met my partner shortly thereafter, but it was a great experience and I was so happy I did it. Wow. Thank you for sharing this. Can I ask how you found the sex worker and how expensive was he? Google haha. He had a website and Twitter. It was in the $250 per hour range, but he gave me some extra time for free. I booked 2 hours both times if I recall correctly. As a male prostitute worker it's rare to get hired for a simple one-on-one interaction and it's more for things like birthdays, bachelorette parties, etc. But when I do get hired one-on-one, it's more for people who want the experience instead of desperation or things like that. Thank you for responding to my question. Any particularly memorable experiences with the opposite sex? This is a painful one to tell, but there was one time I was invited over for a client's 21st birthday party that her friends were throwing, and when they were blowing out the birthday cake, which was on me by the way, they started popping champagne bottles. Corks were flying everywhere and I got peppered by like 5 of them and one flew astray hitting me in the nuts. But since I had the cake on me, I couldn't just flinch or the cake would go everywhere, so I sat there in silent agony. But overall, pretty fun time. The people were really nice. WTF, did they actually open 5 bottles of champagne at once? Was that a mass event or what? Mass? I did not. No, they had started using champagne for communion. Part of the rebranding. Buddy Christ would be proud. Buddy Jesus. Doesn't he just look more approachable? Champagne cake. It's only champagne cake if it's from the Bukake region of France. Otherwise, it's just a sparkling facial. I mean, if you have 10 to 15 people, it's already not that ridiculous. Yeah, there was like 20 to 30 people at her party. It was crazy. Not all heroes wear cakes. I'm impressed with your level of professionalism. Any story about when you got hired for a one-to-one experience? Not the person you responded to, but I was offered from a mutual friend to dance for his best friend's birthday bash. I politely declined. His friend hit me up and she wanted a 1v1 session. When I arrived, she just asked if I wanted to gave me gas money and a 6-pack. The beer was good. Yeah, most of the calls you get are women wanting a massage. 13-year-olds doing their social experiments and asking everyone about their penis length. I'm a 20-year-old guy but not gay. Can you tell me if my penis is small? An offer from someone who'd turn out to be a man. Women who were extremely emotionally unstable and would just call to ask for sex, then block you, then call again the next day. Women who'd make an appointment for like a week later and forget about it. A shouting woman with some kid crying in the background. Looking for a strong man capable of executing some good corporal punishment on her child. Women wanting a massage. John Redcorn called that healing. These migraines are truly debilitating. Seems like you're getting one of your migraines, hun. I'm going to call John. That last one, just damn. Like what would make her think to call you? Not that calling anybody for that is anything like appropriate. Ike, my guess is that she wanted the child to be afraid of crying? A sex worker though? I get fake calling police or whatever. If you don't shut up, I will get this guy to F me in the arse and you will have to watch. Is all I can think of. A shouting woman with some kid crying in the background. Looking for a strong man capable of executing some good corporal punishment on her child. You actually received calls to come beat their kids? I have so many questions. Most of them have nothing to do with you, but like, did they actually offer real money? All I can say that they for sure weren't sober. Oh God, that's sad. Do you do magic tricks or balloon animals? My nephew is about to turn 7. Now I'm wondering if the magician we had for my son's 4th birthday is a male escort on the side. My boss hires them for herself all the time, and as her EA I have to book the guy. She uses him so regularly we just call his personal number and he knows me by name. Nice guy, to be honest. Interesting. Is her use of escorts known among staff, or is it more discreet and you know because you're the EA? EA escorts. It's in the pay. What's your Venmo? I feel like you should get paid for this at least a little. Wow. Good for her. Some people treat themselves to video games, other clothes. She treats herself with sex she knows is going to end well every time. The guy has a lovely personality, is very attractive and in her words hung like a horse. He visits a clinic every month and is always willing to provide proof if asked, so good on them both, I say. Hung like a horse. Hey, I have a lovely personality, attractive and... oh. Crap. It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of that effing huge horse that's just galloping in this incredibly sexy rhythm for, like, hours at a time. Like, how does he do it? Reading the comment section is difficult. I'm going to offer an answer. Though I have never paid for male escorts, a fairly well-off and incredibly attractive friend of mine has. She has a high-powered career and is traveling the majority of the year. Her sights are focused on building her career as quickly as possible, so she doesn't currently have time for a relationship. She has paid for male escorts several times a year. Her reasoning is that she would rather have no strings attached sex with a professional rather than risk being disappointed and go through the motions of getting ready for a night out, going to the bar, etc. She explained to me that efficiency and reliability is everything. She is able to request an up-to-date STD test prior to the date and can expect complete discretion. All you people saying women shouldn't have to pay for sex are valid, but if you want some quality control, it makes sense to pay a premium. Your last point is great and should be used for almost everything in life. I can go get dirt out my backyard to plant some veggies, but I'll probably go to the store and buy the good dirt, lol. As someone who works in a potting soil factory, can confirm, get the good soil. I recommend trying to get soil made specifically for the application you're going to use it for. Sure, all-purpose will likely work fine, but you'll be better off if you plant African violets in some African violet-specific soil, and plant vegetables in vegetable-specific soil. Came for dirty stories, instead got dirt advice. I never thought there would be much of a difference in the soil other than the packaging and price. This thread got real dirty. I became a man when I started cooking with a meat thermometer and testing my dirt. Basic economics. Everything has a cost associated with it. Even spending an hour or two on Tinder trying to find a hookup costs time. I've had this conversation with my parents, who argue with me that I should spend weeks of time performing DIY tasks because it's cheaper instead of paying someone a couple hours' wage to get it done at a much better quality than I would manage. As the wise butters put it, Kyle, every boy pays for kisses. Do you know what I am saying? If you've got a girl, and she kisses you, sooner or later you're paying for it. You've got to take her out to lunch, take her to a movie, and then spend time listening to all her stupid problems. Look at Stan right there. Kyle turns to see Stan, who's listening to Wendy over at the merry-go-round. He's got to sit there and listen to her stupid motherfin problems because she kisses him. If you ask me, that's a lot more than the $5 my company charges. I'm better than dirt. Well, not that fancy store-bought stuff. That stuff's loaded with nutrients. I can't compete with that. Her reasoning is that she would rather have no strings attached sex with a professional rather than risk being disappointed and go through the motions of getting ready for a night out, going to the bar, etc. To be honest, I'm curious to try it once. It would be nice for once to get everything I want and have to do and give up nothing in return. Money. Money can be exchanged for goods and services. Or one-night stands that basically use your body to masturbate. No desire or care to please you at all, since they'll probably never see you again. I'm on board with this chick's logic, and now I'm curious about hiring a professional. It's funny because it's the opposite with female sex workers in my experience. Unless you go super high-end with female escorts, most sex workers just try to get you to come ASAP so you can GTFO and they can get the next client in. Probably because unless you go high-end, there's a lot of women doing sex work who don't really want to be there, but are financially desperate, drug-dependent, or trafficked/watched by pimps or abusive partners. I think people really underestimate how bad, and common, performance anxiety can be for men, especially men who have been drinking, are tired, stressed, high, etc. It's really a massively unspoken problem that women really should know about, and guys should know it happens. It's extremely common for men to not be able to get it up, maintain when it is up, or finish very quickly when in stressful situations like one-night stands, first-time events, public areas, etc. It happens a lot. A lot. So for someone who just wants the physical aspect and doesn't want to deal with the drama, it makes absolute sense. The "oh, it never happens and would never happen to me and I'm a stud in the bedroom" guys are honestly the most likely to have it happen because they put so much stress on themselves to perform amazingly. I had this with a girl that was way out of my league and the pressure just got to me. A lot of my friends have admitted to having this too for different reasons. Also, tons of girls I've talked to have told me about guys that couldn't get hard. It really does happen a lot. I speak for an awful lot of women when I say, if it doesn't, don't worry about it. If you're into the girl, just keep on in other ways. Nothing pisses me off more than when a dude thinks because he's temporarily out of order, the sex is finished. No, it pisses me off more when dude comes in 45 seconds and then sex is over. Sex should be fun, enjoy all of it. I had a screamer once, and was doing my thing, then someone in her apartment complex yelled "shut the F up" and I immediately went soft. That is a well-mannered penis. I would have laughed. Or on the opposite, you get a guy who is a 3-pump chump. So many men, especially certain groups including some here on Reddit, think it's so easy for a woman to just go out and get laid. Well, it might be easy to find a man who wants sex, but finding one that can get it up and knows what he is doing for a one-night stand is so rare. I never did one-night stands because it wasn't satisfying, and my girlfriends think so too. As a guy, I feel the same. Sex is just better when you both actually like each other, lol. It doesn't take long to build a good vibe with the right person, but I never really understood the old drunken blind hookup except as a childish bragging rights thing. Men and women should be encouraged to raise their standards. Thank you. I was trying to explain to a male friend of mine why I've never liked one-night stands, and he just couldn't wrap his mind around what I was saying, but it's basically exactly what you've said. They're typically not satisfying because you're not in tune with each other, pressure is high so he may not be able to get it up or keep it up, and, this is purely anecdotal, from my experiences a lot of my one-night stands seemingly modeled their sexual styles/techniques after porn stars, which was in no way pleasurable. Glad to know I'm not alone in this. Agreed. If I asked enough random guys for sex, eventually one would say yes. So in a sense it is easy, but it probably won't be good. So when I tell my guy friends it's hard to get laid, this is what I mean. Sex advice podcaster Dan Savage says part of what we pay sex workers for is to go away afterward. That seems to fit with your friend's experience. A friend of mine had a bad breakup, and tried Tinder, and she got a lot of attention because she is gorgeous. She said that after a month, that it was mostly a bust, because the guys were jerks, or lousy in bed, or would just pump and dump. She had 1 or 2 decent experiences, but overall she said it wasn't worth the bother. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.